I gotta say something about this because you know what? This to me is a call to wise up here. This is a major wake-up call with this coronavirus thing. It's shaking the rafters of the entire planet. And then I heard late last week, Bill Gates had resigned from his latest position, and I was going to say he retired from Microsoft. He's still going to be involved with Microsoft in some, I guess, on some form of fashion, but he officially retired. This is the same guy who predicted about a major virus was going to come through in a few years. I don't remember if he said by 2020, but I know he did say it was coming. He said that back as far back as 2015. I'm going to talk about that and a couple other things related to it. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right. First item up for bids. Bill Gates resigned, or rather stepped down from his position at Microsoft late Friday, right after the ish really hit the fan out here, all over the place. Yeah, he did. The same dude who predicted about virus outbreaks and talked about world health and all this as far back as 2015. Yeah, Bill Gates was kind of one of the people who did say that this was coming. He said that for years. I actually watched a couple of videos where he talked about it, and I was very highly suspect of that. And I kept wondering why people on YouTube and other social media sites were drawing horn rims from his head. Now I know why. But I suspected that. You never know, man. They say him and there was a couple other CEOs that had recently retired or resigned or stepped down. I didn't even also realize that this guy's he's worth over $100 billion. Yeah, not millions, 100 billion. That's millions twice over. And he's number 2 behind Jeff Bezos as among the world's richest men. Jeff Bezos, of course, you know, is the CEO of, he's the owner of the Washington Post, and he's also the owner and proprietor of I have to admit, my number one favorite guilty pleasure, Amazon.com. I'm not going to lie. Everything Amazon is huge. Amazon Prime, Amazon Prime Video, you name it. Now, my thing of it is, they just said today that they announced that there's going to be they went from $1 billion last week to try to help people out, including businesses and stuff like that, with this outbreak, coronavirus outbreak that's affecting hundreds upon thousands of big and small businesses, schools, banks, bars, clubs, you name it, all over this country, let alone all over this world. Trump had, I guess they said that the Trump administration is going to try to get something going where they release $1 trillion. That's over $1 billion. I don't know exactly what $1 trillion is. I've never had $1 billion to tell you. But wow. So they're going to try to bust the bank to try to get people and this economy restarted. The rumor has it that this economy, in terms of unemployment, could go as high as 20%. And they said if you go as high as 20%, you're going into Depression-era style numbers. That can have a devastating effect. Like I said, God's still in control. Whether you think they are, whether you think He is or not, God is still in control. No question about it. I'll get to more on that a little later. Now, there was a couple of things I heard this morning. Governor Hogan out here in the state of Maryland says that they're going to use the emission stations, like the one that's not far from me, and they're going to turn them into test stations for people who wants to get tested to see if they have the coronavirus or not. I know in my hometown in Cleveland, Cleveland Clinic up there is already doing it now. I think they started either this week or late last week, but they recently started, and they had as many as 2,000 people who came out to get tested. They said the lines were so long, and it went back so far, they actually had turned people away. And I just found out out here in the DMV, in Arlington, Virginia, they actually started theirs around 9 o'clock this morning at a location. I forgot where it is. So everything's getting underway with the testing. They're just starting to do that. Yeah, they're just starting to do that. But I'm just wondering a couple of things. Why after about, and I found this out too, 2 months that we knew about it being in the stateside, because the way you were talking, like it just happened about a month ago. We've had people who had issues with the coronavirus as far back as January. It just wasn't. It was underreported. They tried to say it was like a few people. The few people added up. You had 6 here, you had 2 here, you had 3 here, you had 5. They added up. I forgot how many the total was for January, but February started increasing. It started increasing more this month. And it's increasing more. They just announced today that the coronavirus mark just made its mark over 200,000 worldwide. That's probably about a good percentage of the world. Not a great percentage, but a fairly decent, a fairly wide amount of people. That's a small town, actually. Well, I take that back. That could be a small city, for certain. 200,000 people? Wow. That could be a small metropolitan city. That is the equivalent. Matter of fact, San Francisco, speaking of cities, they shut down their entire city for the next 3 weeks. California just announced that their schools may not be open back again till the fall. Yeah. And then I heard rumors that some places may not be open for may shut down this week and may not be open until the end of the month. Oh, correction. To the end of next month. It's major. In some cases, without pay. See, what I'm concerned about, the virus, I'm a little concerned about. But what I'm more concerned about than anything is how it's going to affect the economy, our health, our families, our babies. I'm real concerned about the baby because they won't get no education. These kids are going to get bored. They're going to start doing all kind of crazy stuff. It's already happening. I was saying, young boy, what found this girl was he was with this girl. I don't know. I think they were together. At least it looked like they were. He walking around back and forth like he trying to go on there and get him a little booty call. They were teenagers though, but it was just weird. And it was like after school. Like, what's going on here? But they were together, so I said I didn't want to get in the middle of it. But I'm not saying they didn't want to get in the middle. I didn't know what was going on. Maybe he was just visiting her and the family, whatever. I don't know. It was a little bit odd thing. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. But nevertheless, but there were 2 kids just walking around like they had nothing else better to do. Schools were already closed. Because I know, I was like, why are they walking around like in the middle of late in the day? Don't you guys got homework to be doing? But for all I know, they probably had already did their homework or whatever. But I just thought it was kind of odd. I'm thinking y'all are being home doing your homework. Some ain't nothing else better to do. They walking around aimlessly. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about a lot of things right now. You know. I'm concerned that it's just a lot of things that's happening and a lot of things that could potentially happen. That's my bigger concern. You know, this thing is shut down so many places and so many different times, and the hospitals aren't even ready to really handle the kind of volume of patients that they're handling now. Out here in D.C. and other places I heard about, they're setting up patient tents because they're not trying to bring the people who have the virus into the hospital, contaminate other patients. It's gotten that bad. This whole thing is just like a nightmare that you never woke up from. Except it's not a nightmare. And you're wide awake. And this shit is fucking real. Excuse my French. I had to go straight on this. This is real. I was telling somebody today. It reminds me of how The Walking Dead started, where the virus was a virus. That's how The Walking Dead opened up. The show opened like that. Real talk. It literally opened up with the characters. Look it up. The characters were going in. Rick was walking around aimlessly on an empty street in Atlanta. Next thing you know, he was in the hospital. He walking inside the hospital. Hospital is empty. It's been ran through. Literally. And the virus is going around. Oh, it's weird. It started off more like... See, The Walking Dead actually started off more like a sci-fi before it got to what it is now. It's more of a horror show, but it's a horror action. It's hard to describe, but it's one of the best shows. It's still one of the best shows on TV as far as I'm concerned. This episode that was on this past Sunday was one of the best I've seen in a long time. But more on that on another podcast later time. I'm going to start back doing that. Anyway, but it is weird. You know, it does remind you of, it reminds me of several movies I've watched. Contagion and Quarantine and a bunch of other stuff. It even reminds me of some episodes of The Simpsons in terms of the meaning of what they try to present. But it's like nothing I've ever seen before. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to the bar if I want to get a drink. I can't go to the nightclub if I want to go party. And some government offices are closed. At least the local government I know of. It's scary. It's very scary. Traffic is the lightest I've seen in a long, long time. You'd almost think it was a holiday. Excuse me. So I don't know where we're going, man. The only thing I know is we got to, and I repeat, we got to stay prayed up like never before, man. I've seen everything. I mean, I was going to say this. Just when you thought you've seen everything, you ain't seen nothing yet. That's the model I've been saying off and on for a long time. Just when you thought you've seen everything, you ain't seen nothing. But I think I might have. Especially in the case of this, where the one thing that I never thought would come through fruition on a worldwide scale was something I've only seen in movies and television shows over the last 50 some odd years. Man, you want to look, man? Oh, man, huh? Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's just weird. I just never thought I would live to see this. And like me and other guys said, something's like seeing what we're seeing right now is like something you thought would happen for another 50 years, and that's the truth. I thought something like this would happen well past my time. It's crazy. Well, one of the other things I didn't think I'd see was seeing a first black president. I'm glad I got to see that. Not that he did anything, but I'm glad I got to see it nevertheless. When you coming out? That one astonished me. That's another story. You know. But it is amazing me over the years. A lot of stuff that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, I actually saw in my lifetime. But the stuff that I'm seeing in my lifetime is scaring the hell out of me right now. You know? It's scaring me like nothing I've ever seen before. It's really scary. And it's to a point where I'm not really in a panic mode. I'm concerned. Everybody on this planet should be concerned right now, because nothing like this has ever happened before. Nothing. You know? No one's ever seen anything like this before. This is crazy. It's a real certainty here anymore. We're uncertain about what this is going to lead into. Right now, there's over 200,000 people across the globe. I think the lowest amount in one country may be about 1,400, and that's one too many. I think the most was like about, might have been 6,000, 7,000, something like that. But my thing is, we just got to pray up, man. Give God the glory. Because God is the only one that has the solution to what is really going on. Man don't have it. Doctors don't have it. Scientists don't have it. The only thing is, wash your hands, wash your countertops, doorknobs, and everything else, and stay clean. And stay at home. Social isolation. The one thing they thought was bad for you at one time. Now it's beneficial to you. Go figure. Well, I'm going to say it again. Stay prayed up. Keep yourself clean. Watch what you're touching, man. DJ Wolf. I'm praying for the world. I'm out.